Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Amateur Hour Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Coleman, the Chainsaw Baits. If you're looking, start it up. If you're looking to cut your insurance rates in half,
hit up
go
Coleman,
see
man.
Coleman at Goosehead Insurance.
Hit up Coleman,
Austin,
that's the
Texas.
guy. Yeah. Anyway, we have Emily here.
I don't have insurance. I'm broke.
Anyway, we have Emily here. She's the guest. We announced it just a minute ago, I guess, on Jeremy's live. Shout out Jeremy and Jackal here, also helping us out today. Appreciate it big time. But Emily, I think majority of y'all probably know. Emily's the homie. She's we met freshman year at Ole Miss. Both went to Ole Miss.
We met sophomore year.
Sophomore year. My memory's bad, as will be a common theme in this podcast. But no, we met sophomore year, I guess. What, A&P?
Yeah, we met. We met with Drew whenever we were in a
shout out Drew. It was his birthday
study session. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I saw that you were texting him yesterday. I was like, why the frick are you texting Drew?
I love that guy. But no, Emily's here today. But yeah, no, Emily's been a close friend of mine since sophomore year. We've really, we hit it off pretty quick since then. We've been hanging out. We both moved to Dallas 2 years ago. When did you move? Last year?
I moved to Denton.
Denton
this time actually 2 years ago, and then I moved to Dallas this time last year. Okay. So I've been in Dallas for a year. But I came whenever I lived in Denton. I came down here all the time. So it's not like I didn't see you.
Yeah, that's fair. You went up to Chicago recently? Did you visit Hannah? Where were you at?
Oh yeah, I went. No, okay. So I went to Chicago in October, and that's when that was the first time I went and saw Hannah in Chicago. Yeah. And then I was with Hannah 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
It was a wedding. It was a wedding.
Yeah, Danny Thomas. You know Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to.
She got married?
Nate Stein. You know Nate.
I know
forgot
Nate
about
Stein.
that. Yeah, we went to Denver for a couple days, and then we went to Breckenridge because that's where the actual wedding was. Because Nate's family, I think, is from, or they have a house in Breckenridge. Sure.
Breckenridge is sick.
It was
beautiful,
hands down the prettiest wedding I've ever been to.
It looked. It was in the mountains.
It was literally you drove down a rock road, and we were just pulled off on the side, and it was just mountains, and it was just a big grassland, and that's where the wedding was.
She was always super sweet. I remember.
I love Danny. Nice. She is my mother.
Nice gal. But yeah,
she was my mother.
We I guess probably around sophomore year, right after we met, we had a close encounter with Gexa.
With what?
There was I guess now.
Oh Lord, that's when I met Aston.
Wait, Jacko, you were there, right? Yeah. That was fun.
Got the best of you for sure.
Hey, all of them to throw in the solo cup.
All right.
Okay,
anyway,
guys.
Okay.
So
too vivid, Jackson.
Okay,
Wow.
let's just rewind.
Stay off camera.
Let's just tell everybody the story.
No, so
okay, so we went to the Parker McCollum concert
and then
last
we'll tell
night.
what actually happened.
Yeah.
And it was this is how it happened. We went to the Parker McCollum concert last night. It was at Dos Equis Pavilion, which is near Fair Park and Cotton Bowl Stadium in Dallas. And 5 years ago is when I met Aston and Jacko because I came down here for a future Migos and Kodak concert, and Spencer went, and
Spencer spilled off.
Sorry. It's early on.
Lord. Anyway, so
Oh no.
we were trying to sneak in alcohol, because we
Gosh.
Spencer got the vodka take, and Aston only had whiskey. Therefore, I took a shot of whiskey, and Emily does not mix well with
shots.
Whatever. I don't
Like
drink
5
dark
S's.
liquor, and so I just
oil.
hit the fan.
Shout out, Jeremy.
That oil.
I just died, and
Anyway, so we got
I was
revenge.
like, Spencer, why do you hang out with this girl?
For those of you keeping count at home, we've probably taken out at least 3 cliffs already. So we're pretty loose around here. So we sent out a tweet and Instagram saying, we would watch your mouth when you talk to me. We sent out a tweet saying we would shout out whoever roasted me the best. Nobody did.
I
so
roasted you.
Everybody was scared, I think.
I roasted
They
you.
knew they
I
didn't want
win.
the smoke, and y'all are smart. Our viewership is smarter than I thought. I thought they were going
I
to
won.
You don't count.
I
You don't.
roasted you, though.
You don't count. But, yeah, so nobody roasted me. As I said,
I
probably
roasted you. I won.
you don't count.
I win.
You don't count. Nobody wanted the smoke, I think, is the point of what I wanted to say.
I don't have a Twitter, so don't know what to
Y'all
say
are
there.
smart. Twitter's the best. Twitter's the best. I think.
Instagram.
Oh,
Reels.
what you mean? What is now?
Instagram's pretty good.
It's Instagram.
Those reels
Yeah.
are really fun to watch.
The reels are fun,
I
yeah.
like it. It's
Yeah.
more
Reels
like
are just
Vine.
like TikTok,
Exactly.
but I don't have
Exactly.
TikTok,
It's more like
so.
Vine. I like it. I like it like
Oh,
Vine.
Vine.
Yeah.
I never had
I
Vine.
don't do TikTok.
You didn't have
My mom
Vine?
has a
I never
TikTok.
had Vine. I don't have TikTok either. I don't like
Not
it.
a big social media gal.
I only have Instagram. I mean, I have Facebook, but I don't get on
Speaking
it.
of, go give Imbalance to follow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and jump in.
Fitness needs imbalanced.
I don't know. Aston Francis. you
EM
fitness
underscore
gal.
balanced.
You deleted
with a
it?
D.
I didn't delete it, but it's,
Oh, you
it's
just
pretty
don't do it anymore?
inactive.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I'm putting
big.
all my focus into the podcast now.
There you go.
Okay.
Smart man.
I support.
Smart man.
That's boring.
Really focus
Nah,
on these songs of the day.
So they're fire. They're fire. I think
Heat.
they've been on a pretty big R&B wave lately. Decent bit
Yeah,
of R&B.
you just
I was
released
surprised.
an entire R&B
Well, yeah.
playlist, didn't you?
We put up the
Yeah.
poll, and R&B won.
The people want what the people want.
Angsty 2000s rock was a very close second. So
It was.
That might come out next
It was.
week.
Yeah.
We've got it.
We'll
We've got
release
it
that
made.
one.
But
But while we're on the Instagram deal, Emily is, you could say pretty big influencer.
I wouldn't say.
How many followers do you have?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
I'll be honest. I think I saw the other day whenever I was looking to try and, I guess, tag you or whatever, and it was up around 30,000, 25,000.
Holy crap, seriously?
Yeah, no, it's a lot. It's a lot. So she does her thing on there.
Hey, you're
Again,
more
shout her
than-
out.
You're
Big,
more than just your followers.
big on the fitness. Yeah,
You're
fact
more
check
than
me.
that.
Fact check me. No, so post what workout videos, nutrition tips. What else would you say? What's
saw
your yeah?
I really started it for like healthy eating, like
What's the
recipes
number?
and all that stuff.
25.3K.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
So
But yeah, so I really started it just because it's a long story. I mean, I started out as like I posted recipes and like food and everything like that and
Dude, if I
all
do
that
that
stuff on it, and then I kind of migrated towards posting like fitness things, and now for the most part I do still like post fitness things, but like if you watch my stories or anything, I post like, I don't know, outfits, me doing stupid stuff, me like
So
living life.
mental
Living
a lot of
health,
content
like
there.
how I what
Stupid stuff.
oh,
Pretty packed page.
yeah.
Lots of.
I just kind of like post my life
Did you
on
expose
it.
any of
so-
us from yesterday?
No,
Okay, thank you.
I did not.
Thank you. That's nice. It's nice.
If you do anything stupid, it's just gonna be on my Snapchat story because I have like 5 people on my Snapchat story. Therefore, I just post all my really dumb stuff on my Snapchat.
There we go. There we go.
The real
So yeah,
entertaining stuff.
you're into obviously fitness world. Our undergrad degree was exercise science, kinesiology. So I know, and honestly, I'll give you a fair bit of credit for getting my ass back in the gym. Like, I think I really started lifting again sophomore year.
I thought it was junior. Whenever we used to go to the gym together.
Dang, I was that skinny.
You
It just
were
skip
that
a whole
skinny.
year. No, it was sophomore.
really
We
not?
started working out junior year.
Yeah,
That's when we started
because
working.
I dragged
But
your butt
worked
to
out.
Turner Center one time sophomore year, and you
Last
swore
time I
you
ever
would
went there.
never go back,
And I didn't.
never went back.
Yeah, because that place is garbage. But I give you credit for again, kind of getting me back in the gym. After high school, really not feeling the whole
Freshman
exercise
15
thing.
Freshman 15 is a real thing.
Bro, I wish I
I
had
was
put
gonna
on
say
15
I don't really
hours.
think Spencer
Skinny, bro.
gained the freshman
Yeah,
15.
you were playing football.
I didn't get that. Freshman 15.
Yeah, you were playing football. You were probably yoked. You're probably stacked. But no, we
I
we
had it.
started working out. Thank you. That and ever really since then, that's probably been one of the most consistent things I intentionally make, kind of about my life is exercise, weightlifting. Even I enjoy basketball, doing that for cardio.
Spencer's ripped. That's what he's trying to say.
Shredded. You can't see under the hoodie. Don't ask questions. But no, it's for me, the biggest part I found whenever I really first started working out was the mental kind of aspect. I noticed probably after 2 weeks of doing it consistently, I was like, like my mental space went to kind of a different place. I was like, this, you know. So since then, I was like, I know this needs to be a pretty heavy part of my life.
And I think you just feel there's a sense
feel
of accomplishment.
better.
You're like, oh, I've done something productive. Now I can go do the stupid things that I normally do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And feel better about it. That's for me. It's more like a. Yes, it makes you feel that endorphin rush, I guess, but I feel accomplished afterwards.
Yeah. It's
I feel accomplished in a sense of like self-confidence. I don't know. It's like kind of my outlet. Like.
So do you find whenever you say self-confidence, is that because you got something accomplished, or is it more the physical aesthetic? Yeah. Is that where you're
more of? It's more of growing up. I just never had like, I guess, the best self-confidence. Like I compared myself to a lot of people when I just was always down on myself. And the gym is like one thing I'm like actually very knowledgeable about. Yeah. And I like know what I'm doing. And so just because I know what I'm doing, I know like correct form, I know how to program, I know all that stuff. And so
form and technique is really the key to the games. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
Lift with the knees.
Yeah.
Not the back.
Lift with the knees. You lift with your legs.
Always lift
legs.
with the back.
Bend your knees. That's what I'm saying. You know what I meant.
We go to Emily's page now for help on technique and form.
Yeah, obviously,
we need the help we could get. But no, in going kind of to the comparison aspect, that's something I think, I don't know, we probably mentioned it at some point over, I don't know, whichever conversation, but a lot of people I've found always compare up. They never take a step back and compare, not down necessarily, but they always look at, oh, this person's got this car, this house, they've got a 12-pack, like so many abs, and like they're always looking at what's right in people's lives, but they never look at the person that's homeless. They don't think about not growing up in Africa without a house.
I was gonna say,
like people don't compare down to things that they really, things they don't have to take for granted. So, and that's something I've really been trying to do is, like even this house, man, we kind of rip on it because,
it's kind of a trap house, but hey, it's a house. It's a roof over your head.
I guess you can't see it in the video, but
really
we've got some tennis ball marks.
Yeah.
Throwing.
Bro, yeah. For some people, this is like a mansion, an absolute mansion. Like people would kill to literally like sleep at night here.
Oh yeah.
And we never think about that.
You never get
There's a joke to be made there.
Chill out. Especially with Instagram, that's a big world for me. I think I've had to take a step back or two sometimes and just get off it for a little bit.
I've talked about this with Allie before because sometimes if I'm like sitting there scrolling on social media too long, I like do start to like get really, really in my head and start comparing myself to like, not necessarily even like other fitness people, but like just some of my friends, like going on trips or going to do this or doing something like this or something like that.
Engaged.
Yeah,
we're still
one
single.
Of them, one of
Facebook
them
is
got
brutal.
engaged.
Stay
One
off.
of them got a new
It's a
job.
wasteland.
And I'm just like, okay.
Wasteland of fallen soldiers.
But yeah, I've had multiple times where I'm just like, I have got to get off of Instagram for like a week or something like that, and I just do. And after that, I feel a heck of a lot better.
For sure, normalize it, man. Like that's.
Amen.
I think you need to. I honestly think everybody should just delete social media for at least a day or two a week. No, just you don't even have to stay off of it for a week. Just take a day or two per week and just don't get on social media at all.
Just cleanse it. Yeah, I think it's so. To me, it's so toxic. It and is. We don't realize now. I'm sure studies are being done now that we'll see kind of the outcomes. Man, our mental. Like it's so tied up in that, and we're not meant to see what everyone in the world is doing 24/7. Our brain is not meant to see that, and I don't think.
And it's a highlight reel.
It's all highlights. It's all highlights.
You see the lows.
Absolutely, and
that's why I think it's cool. Not to cut you off, but I think it's cool with your fitness page. Like you don't post just all the highlights. It's real. It's real stuff. It's good.
I mean, like. That's something I've been really intentional about too lately. I took, like talking about taking a break off, I took probably 2 months off of Instagram, Twitter, just everything. I was like, I need to get myself right. And then after that, I've come back. I only have like 3 pictures on Instagram now. Like I just like, I want to, only stuff I'm putting out there is just, for me, I'm trying to really be intentional about putting positivity out. Like only positive stuff. Like you're not going to see anything negative on my page. Like I'm just, that's something I've been really trying to do because, like, for me, it helps me, you know? Like, it helps me just put positive stuff out there.
Well,
People
you also
reach
don't
out.
know that it could help somebody else.
Exactly. And, like I, you know, and I need to be, you know, I need to be better in some areas, but, like, just putting positive stuff out. I, like, you know, like, and I reply to people's stories and comments and stuff. Like, it's just, like, that's the type of person now at this point that I'm really trying to be and just, you know, just put more love and positivity out there. Because I think you want to make a joke. Give me a second, then I'll let you get it off. But but like, you know, just be more positive on social media because like it's easy to get wrapped up in everything that's going on.
Yeah,
Go ahead, fire away.
I was just gonna say, where was that positivity message yesterday?
You kicked me in a region that was painful.
I didn't mean to.
This guy.
You turned.
So this dude, he kicked me in my groin.
Oh, at the concert?
And then proceeded to tell the group of 17-year-olds next to us that my girlfriend just broke up with me.
Like,
so I had a 17-year-old kid chirping me. He's like, hey, man, I'm going through the same thing. I was like, dude, I'm 24 and he kicked me in my nuts. That's crazy. It's crazy.
All right. Well, I didn't tell him that your girlfriend broke up with you.
Who did? It was Remington.
I think it was Remington.
Golly.
But they're like, what's wrong with that guy? Is he crying? Like, he might be. He really
They
might
saw
be.
this stream of sweat running down my face. You're like, oh, he's going through it.
I got you good.
But no, like, you know, going back to kind of the positivity deal, that's something I think the most accounts I get out of are things that, like, that give me something, you know.
See, I can attest to this.
Yeah.
You have three posts.
Three pictures.
Whatever, right?
Yeah.
She has 25K followers. You have to stay
Yeah.
relevant. So you have to
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you keep putting out positivity and keep going?
Yeah.
I don't know how I did it.
Do you have some type of, like,
what?
do you have, I guess, a plan or some type of, like, intentional steps that you do? Like, do you post a certain amount of times, like, or do you just go with it?
I tried to, or I used to, and like I used to be way more active on it. And like, I was talking to one of my friends about this the other day. Probably for like the past 2 years, my like Instagram account has lost like a bunch of followers. And at first, I like was letting it get to me.
Yeah.
But now I just don't really care because like 2 years ago, I would post things like because I was trying to like get more attention and everything like that. And now I'm but now I'm like to the point of I post, I mean, once, maybe twice a week on it, and like an actual like post, not on my story. I usually do post on my story like every day, but like an actual like post, and I just post like what I want. Like I don't care. I don't really care how many likes it gets. I don't really care. Like sometimes I'll do like stupid little photo dumps of a weekend that I just like took pictures of a weekend and like I had a really fun weekend and it made me happy, and so I want to post all these photos. Yeah. And so that's all I do now.
You're on the wave. It's just
there you go.
I post what I want when I want, not at a set time, not like a lot of influencers, I mean, it is their job. Like they have time, like set times, or like they schedule when their posts are and everything. And I just like, I'll post at 9 p.m. at night. I'll post at 7 a.m. in the morning.
People do it for like,
don't really care.
Make money.
See, and I don't think I would like to be in a big spotlight. Like, I don't want all that attention. I just would like rather live my life. And
that's fair. And that's another thing I think I've changed too. Like, you know, I guess more so on Twitter. I'm more active on Twitter, but like sometimes, you know, you see a tweet and I would like it and hesitate almost and like think to want to either retweet something or send out a tweet because I was like, you know, what kind of perception is it gonna get and stuff, and like it doesn't matter. And I think the more you really tap into who you are, like, and you're just genuinely you, people see that. People see it, and then they like it more. It's kind of, once you stop caring about who follows you and all these likes and stuff, that's when you get the most follows and likes. Like, as soon as it's a game.
Well, how do you balance that? When you're trying to grow a business, every post you want
it to be intentional.
Sure. How you balance being authentic, but also wanting attention?
Yeah.
I mean, I just think you have to be you. I think that if you're like real and you're actually yourself on, I mean, social media and just honestly in life, then you'll attract attention.
I think people like that.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to see somebody like
just
Like
doing
actual
good,
stuff.
living their life.
And that's kind of like why I post stupid stuff. Like I
Yeah.
post myself drinking all the time, even though I have like a fitness and health food account. Like most people who think of like health don't associate like going out and drinking like 3 espresso martinis a night. Oh yeah,
Being real, yeah.
espresso martinis are my favorite drink.
And I've told Jeremy, Jordan and I too. You know, I think summer's been fun. I guess starting tomorrow. You know,
We're going on a cleanse. You're
going on a cleanse, and it's for multiple reasons, but you know, one of them is kind of the fitness stuff. Like Jordan and I have been working out like every day in the garage for a year and a half, 2 years, and at some point, you know, it's gotta interfere, right? You know, so I think there's a balance to it.
I mean, yeah.
And I think Jordan and I are kind of on the same wavelength there. It's just kind of like allow myself to get good in the gym. You know, like because right now, like it doesn't matter how much work I put in, how hard I work and stuff. Like if what I'm doing on the weekends, what I'm eating and like what I'm drinking and stuff is basically negating everything that I do throughout the week.
Cancels out.
Yeah, it cancels out. I'm open to it. And like that's kind of, I think it speaks a lot to kind of where I'm at mentally, I guess, and just kind of in life is just letting it be. Whatever happens, whatever comes my way. Like I don't want to deter anything. I don't want to, you know, force anything. I'm living it. You know, I'm living it and letting things happen. Just letting it all happen. Because once we start to really try to impose our will on our life and other people's lives, like it gets messy. You think you got all this control and stuff, and that's kind of on the faith aspect, I think. A lot of it is just letting it flow, praying through it. Like this is one of I don't really like wearing wristbands and stuff. I got skinny wrists. So like this thing dangles, but like it's this bracelet, I don't know if you can see, but it just has pray. It just has pray. And throughout the day, like I'll be sitting there at work and I'll catch myself being stressed or something, you know, or like in my head worried or like just for whatever reason not tapped in, and like I'll see it on the bracelet, and I just take a second, sit back, pray, you know, say thank you, waking up saying thank you, you know, asking for forgiveness, whatever it may be, just praying.
I was gonna say I kind of agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Just with like just graduating and everything, trying to find a job, I was like super stressed about just all that stuff, and now I'm just like I've had job interviews, haven't been lucky, that's okay, and just wasn't meant to be. Something better is out there for me, so I'm just kind of like trying to trust it.
It all works itself out eventually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
every single job interview I just take as a learning experience.
There's no such thing as a loss.
Yeah.
Like there's really not. Like, and that's something I think that has really helped me too. Like there's the way I see it now, there's no such thing as a bad thing. Bad things don't exist. They don't. They always teach us something. They're for our perspective. And I read a quote in a book not long ago. It says, "There's no such thing as pain without a purpose." And once you look at it like that, like learn something through whatever is hurting you.
Yeah,
you know, like whether it be the job situation is a big one, especially right now with COVID and stuff. Like, if you didn't kill an interview and you're like worked up about it, gain from it.
Yeah.
If you take a loss and you don't learn something from it, that is a loss. That's the only loss there is. And at that point, it's just on you. You know, it's not the circumstances and stuff. Like everything that we thought was awful in our life, like the worst we ever been down and stuff, the worst things that I think have ever happened, ultimately benefits us for sure the most in our lives.
I was gonna say the lowest part of my life, I wouldn't be who I am today without being at the lowest point of my life, and I've learned a lot.
I haven't, or at least I didn't used to be kind of open and stuff. Like I was pretty internal about a lot of things and stuff, and I found, you know, things are only as heavy as what you hold on to. You know, like if you're holding on to all this weight and stuff and all this bad things and stuff, all this weight in your head, like of course it's going to be heavy. You know, of course, like air it out, talk to people, vent, open up, do what you got to do. Like you're going to find whenever you do talk to people about it and stuff, they're just going to show you love.
That's why
like they're going to like help you out, you know?
It's not even, I mean, I don't even know if it's necessarily about like the love thing. I mean, it is obviously about the
and
love
when
thing.
I say love, I don't mean romantic.
Well, no, I know. I was just like more so talking about like however you or whenever you said like talk about it. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, and I am such a big advocate for therapy, and I think it's a great thing, and everybody should go because everybody needs to talk about things. But like that's why I'm like everybody makes fun of me for calling my mom like 5 times a day, and it kind of is a problem.
It's a lot, yeah.
But my mom like. I have really bad anxiety just in general, and so I just need to like have somebody to talk to about it a lot, and my mom is my person to go to. But like every single time I talk to my mom about it, I feel a lot better after I talk.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm just like, everybody needs to talk.
And that helps your relationships. Like you always, whenever you reach out to someone and talk about real things that really matter, you find those relationships growing too. Like I'm sure, if you cut people out and don't let them into your life, they're not going to be in your life. They're just not, because you aren't allowing them to come into it.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's kind of an intentionality that needs to
for sure
happen with that.
For sure.
Like for me, I'm more likely to have like a deeper conversation with you because I don't see you that often. I see you sometimes. So if we hang out, we're more likely to have that conversation. But like Spencer, I almost never have, unless one of us needs something.
Which is shocking because it's him, because he always gets into deep conversations.
Did you hear when he was on that soapbox just a minute ago? He was preaching to us.
Thank you. Thank you.
He was preaching to us. But like, I don't have very many deep conversations. I definitely don't have them with Smitty. Me and Smitty maybe have had one or two.
Yeah.
I don't think Smitty has those just in general though.
He's a good listener.
I really don't. Yeah.
Smitty's like,
Smitty, you're listening.
Smitty will talk your ear off if you let him.
Yeah.
But it's something that, like I said, I'm trying to learn to do it because it does help with relationships, and you want to know what's going on with people, and if they're struggling through things, and you want them to be able to talk to you about it.
Yeah. I want to be careful how we approach this one because it's a pretty, it's a pretty interesting, lively discussion right now. But it's the whole Simone Biles situation, and the way I see it, I want to get your input on it, and obviously talk to everyone in the room about it. But I'm kind of torn in how I see it, and I want it to be clear, our opinions do not matter. If you're Simone Biles, no one's opinion matters. It doesn't. Hers. And I hope she realizes that and like just blocks everything out, because there's a lot of noise and that can eat at you. And obviously on another level, she probably has millions of followers and stuff. She's worldwide known. So nobody's opinion matters if you're Simone Biles. That's number one.
I think she does know that now. I think that's why she took herself out of the competition.
And that's
I think that's a great thing that she did it.
And I do too, but I'm torn because I'm a competitor, right? Like I think we all in this room, probably one of the most competitive rooms, like in the DFW. We got collegiate athletes here, and like obviously, like you have to have some type of competitive nature to be getting after fitness and stuff like you have for years. So the competitor part of me doesn't like it. I don't like it because she left her team hanging.
But at the same time, so I don't know if this is necessarily true or not.
Yeah.
But I saw a video, and this is like a thing that actually does happen to gymnasts. Whenever you, twisties. The twisties.
I saw her say that.
The twisties is when you're like, say you're on bars and you're flying from bar to bar, or you're on a beam and you're doing a trick in the air. She doesn't know where her body is in the air, and so she will just twist without knowing where she is, and so if she twists at the wrong time, she can land on her neck and break her neck. So that's why whenever
the thing that she said when she got scared was whenever she did like the little jump thing, she jumped wrong, and when she was in the air, she just went
she couldn't figure out where she was.
I think it's like the yips.
She's like, I couldn't believe I messed up all that.
Yeah.
It's like getting the yips in golf or like in baseball when catchers can't throw the ball back to the pitcher or something. There's just like a mental block.
Yeah.
And so that part I totally understand.
So that's why I'm
dangerous.
So if she landed on her neck, she'd be gone.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm just like, I 1,000% support you taking yourself out of the competition.
This is one of the reasons I wanted to have this discussion, because I didn't view it that way before. And that helps me look and be more empathetic towards her situation, because gymnastics is crazy. People sleep on it. They are the most athletic people. Have you seen them?
They're
the most athletic people in the world.
Have you seen their muscles? That is just like straight body weight stuff.
And to know, you know, if you don't know where your body is in the air while you're doing that, and you're upside down 4 feet in the air, 5 feet in the air, you could die. Like you said, land on your neck.
Dangerous.
And I didn't have that perspective before just now. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it's like a thing that happens whenever she was just like burned out and like mentally exhausted and everything. And she was feeling a lot of stress and pressure from everybody else. And so whenever that happens, like you said, it happens to like baseball players, it happens to golfers, it happens.
Which is wild.
Yeah,
see it. Like people, like golfers can't make 5-foot putts and stuff.
And so kind of, you know, you going into the basketball realm, it's interesting. Obviously, we weren't around in 70s and 80s and stuff, you know, like some big names that have kind of taken that stance. I think DeMar DeRozan doesn't get as much recognition as he deserves. I think he really kind of started the push in the NBA, but it doesn't matter. Everyone's pushing it forward. You got Kevin Love, DeMar DeRozan in the NBA, and then Simone Biles now in gymnastics, and then Naomi Osaka, I might be mispronouncing it, the tennis player. All of them have been taking a pretty active stance on their mental health. Like Kevin Love set out a playoff NBA game because he had a panic attack. Like,
dude,
he
panic
just
attacks
like
are horrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. And like, so it's interesting. I don't know if it just was more taboo, I guess, in the 70s and 80s. But, like, now it seems people are getting more and more kind of comfortable with speaking out on kind of what they're going through. And, like, if something like that happens, like, the amount of support that Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka have gotten, you know, is unreal. It's unreal. And I think they probably feel that once they come out with all, like I said, like, things are only as heavy as the amount of stuff that you hold on to. So if you're not holding on to it and you're putting it out there, you're allowing your hands to carry more positivity.
I've talked about this with my mom.
Yeah.
Because just from everything that I've been through, I was very like hesitant to talk about it and everything.
Yeah.
And like now I'm very open about things, just because I know it can help other people. But at the same time, I don't think that you should necessarily be putting, I don't want to say putting your mental health on what you've been through on other people. Like, you know what I mean? Whenever you vent to somebody and you put it on somebody else, like that is putting so much pressure on another individual that they don't need to feel. I think that you need to take care of yourself internally, and I think that's why I am very open about my everything now, because I dealt with it myself and now I can talk about it. But like when you're like pushing it on somebody,
if you like lock it up though and don't talk about anything, I feel like that can get heavy on you.
Exactly.
Like, and it carries a certain weight if you
don't
talk about it.
That goes back to me going to therapy.
If you talk about it and just get it out there.
Normalize therapy.
Normalize therapy for sure.
Going to see somebody?
Yeah. I've never been, but I already know
going to therapy will do you wonders.
Even if you don't, it's got a big stigma, you know, if you're depressed or anxious or whatever, you know, like, oh, go to therapy, and like it's like someone's trying to fix you. It makes you feel like you're broken. That's not the case, you know. It's not the case. I said I haven't been to therapy, but even if you're healthy, got a good mind, and like things are going right, and therapy comes in different forms, I think too. But you know, I think like you can find therapy in working out and golf and sports, whatever it may be, talking to people, writing. There's outlets for it. I guess that's a good segue. You know, you're talking about therapy and like in things you've been through and stuff. So where you're at right now, what has allowed you to see things as you see them now? Because I'm assuming you go back probably 7-8 years, you don't see the world the same way that you see it right now.
No. And, okay, going off of what Spencer said. So in high school, I had an eating disorder, and I've dealt with anxiety and depression basically my entire life. Yeah. So that started probably the eating disorder started going into my junior year of high school. I dealt with that for a long while. I still deal with it to an extent, but not anywhere remotely where it was then. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think going to Ole Miss helped a lot. I met a lot of people like freshman and sophomore year. I was still like not really, I guess, in my healthy state. And then, I mean, honestly, whenever you and I became like really good friends and I started making my friend group, I was roommates with AK and Allie, and
shout out AK and
from
Allie.
talking to them and like knowing everything that they've been through too. I don't know. I guess you three are probably the three biggest ones that like had an impact on my life, just because. Well, you told me things that I'm just saying, like being honest.
Turn me up some.
You like me and you had a discussion a long time ago about like stuff that you went through in high school, and then I know what Allie and AK went through in high school, and I was like, wow, I'm not alone, and so that made me feel a lot better. And then I decided I just really needed to like better myself, I guess, and I took like what y'all told me into like, I don't know, I kind of, I guess, applied it to my life. And then like meeting other people in like Turner Center, one of my really good friends, Jake, he is a huge rip dude, but he was...
Yeah, Jake's stacked.
He's huge. But he...
Good for that guy.
Him and my other friend, John, they're like two big influences on me in the gym because I mean, obviously with an eating disorder, I was anorexic, so I didn't eat. But like they are like the two that taught me, oh, you can lift super heavy, but then you can also go out and like eat pizza, or eat a burger, or go and drink beer. And if you're working hard in the gym, like that food and / beer is like fuel for your body. Maybe not the beer, but whatever. And
it fueled me this week.
If you
I was running the whole beer fuel pretty hard.
But if you want to like lift super heavy or like actually get a good workout in or change your body composition or whatever, you have to be fueling your body. And
you have to pay attention to it. For sure.
And they're probably the two that taught me that. And then the middle side of things was like you, AK, and Allie. So. And my older sister did help a lot because I was like her sixth roommate all throughout college.
So I have a question. I don't know too much about, unfortunately, I guess kind of about the or maybe fortunately, depending on your perspective, about kind of the eating disorder. Where I know there's anorexia, bulimia. I don't know the difference. I don't know what's what, and I'm sure there are others that a lot more people that we are in contact with every single day are struggling with, and you would never know. You would never know.
You would never know.
Yeah. So what's the differences, and kind of just talk about that, and how many people you think are going through it? Because like I said, like so many more people are dealing with that on a daily basis that we would never know.
Yeah. And okay, so the differences are. Anorexia is when like you're starving yourself. You just either just don't eat, or you don't eat. You overexercise. Like when in high school, I was going to the gym. I would wake up and run 4 miles, and then I would go to the gym for 2 hours after school. I like ate, but like I ate like maybe 600 calories. That's like a breakfast.
A salad, maybe, with no ranch, of course. No ranch.
But, and then, like, I played basketball on top of that, and I swam, and I played tennis.
Was it a mental thing, or was it more, you just didn't have
Yeah, 5,000 is a lot.
The not eating thing, like a mental thing?
Were you hungry and not eating? Or?
So how anorexia kind of works is, it started out as like a mental thing, and I was just like, started like dieting, and I was just like, oh, I want to lose weight, blah, 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 blah. All this stuff just because it was like a confidence thing. And then, but your body is like very smart, and your body adapts to your like eating cycles or like eating patterns. And so whenever you like stop eating, you naturally get less and less hungry, and your hunger cues get off. And so then you just don't get hungry. Or I would just drink coffee all day, and coffee is an appetizing suppressant. Or I would chew gum all day. Gum is also an appetizing
Appetite.
Did you know
suppressant.
that? Did you know that while you were doing it? Did you Google it, or did you just like was your body kind of telling you? It was like, okay, if I chew gum and eat coffee, like I'm not gonna be hungry.
No, I knew this.
Okay.
I did all this research. Eating disorders are basically a form of, I guess you could say, depression. It's just like, how some people like.
Yeah.
But this can be
it's a different kind of outlet or whatever.
It's like instead of I mean, it's like physical harm to your body. It's just a different type of physical harm to your body.
This couldn't be a more perfect time to talk about this because social
Yeah.
media during COVID.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and
This is like,
For sure.
just like the freshman 15 is a joke, everybody started saying the COVID 15.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the COVID-19.
It was more like 20.
That one cracked me up.
25,
The COVID-19 I thought was hilarious, but
So that's like anorexia, and then there's
bulimia is the only other term
bulimia
I know.
is when you
That's when you're like throwing
eat
up, right?
and then throw up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And so bulimia, you can either overeat or you can undereat. You
Yeah.
just always also like find a way to make the food come out, like whether you take laxatives, whether you
Yeah.
throw up, or anything like that. And
Yeah.
then there's also binge eating, which is where you eat like
An
I don't
absurd
know.
amount of food.
Yeah, say you went to Tiff's Treats and got 12
Yeah.
cookies and you ate all 12 in one sitting, or
And that's like an emotional
like an entire
coping,
yeah,
right?
it's like an emotional coping
Yeah.
thing.
Well, I must have had
Okay,
some emotional
so,
problems in high school.
okay, I'm not saying
Bro,
like,
this dude used to slam. What'd you have? 2 double cheeseburgers and a milkshake before basketball?
But that's not-
I had
okay,
a coupon.
This
but
guy's an
that's-
animal. Yes,
but
I know.
that's not binging though. It's like an emotional thing
Yeah,
because
yeah.
my
and obviously this is a serious
No, I
topic.
got too serious and I made a joke. I'm sorry.
Obviously,
No,
obviously
I'm
it's a
not-
serious
no.
deal. Yeah.
I know, but like whenever
With a double cheeseburger and a milkshake in
All
the
right,
system.
let me clear that one.
Yeah.
So I
Crazy.
had Robert E.
You're
Lee,
built different, bro.
Tyler
I'll go ahead and
Legacy
shout
used
you
to-
out, bro.
Used to sell these little coupons that
You
you could get like
nasty.
discounts. So like at Whataburger, if you buy a meal, they would give you a free Whataburger.
Whataburger,
Just
yeah.
a burger.
You was giving White House 40 with 2 doubles in your stomach.
So I'd get like a patty melt, and then I'd have my extra burger.
Bro, popping.
And I might have had a milkshake every now and then.
You for
okay,
sure
but like
had the milkshakes.
whenever I said the 12 cookies from Tiff Treats, that
Yeah.
wasn't like that was just like, I don't know.
You're
something-
doing that
was
for a
something
reason,
random.
though.
It was
Yeah.
you didn't do it emotionally.
I don't. It's hard to really because I am still relatively early on. I think in this train of thought and how I'm seeing things and stuff. Like for me, it probably just 2021 has been a very pivotal year for my mental. You know, so I'm seeing
yeah.
all these things differently and am approaching things differently and and I sent out a tweet probably I don't know a couple months ago just saying like. But I'm trying to have a theme for every year, you know, moving forward. Like, what did I learn? What was the most informative thing for me? And this year, it's for sure going to be just allow. Just one word, allow. Allow things to happen. Allow good things to happen. Allow them to come. Allow them to leave too, if that's what it wants to happen. And just flow. Just
Yeah.
flow. Don't get so caught up because, again, it touches on the faith thing because God's orchestrating everything, right? He's controlling all the pieces. So if we think we know what's best in our life, that says an awful lot, right? Like if we're going into it like this is what's best for me, this is what's going to happen, it's going to cause us a lot of unnecessary pain if it doesn't work out. If it doesn't work out, like just it's okay to have those desires and that drive and those wants. But if it isn't meant to be, there's no amount of thinking that's going to solve it. Like there's just not.
I agree with that.
You know? So that's my big thing for this year is just allow. And I know it's going to be foundational for me kind of moving forward because like it's changed my life. It's changed my life. And I don't know, it's interesting too to kind of talk to everybody in this room because honestly y'all are obviously like my closest friends and I don't know if y'all can tell as big of a shift that I felt.
I feel like I've seen you do like a 180 this past year.
And I feel like
think
I've done
you-
a 180.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
wouldn't even
have.
say a 180, but I feel like
I
I
like
can
you.
definitely see a difference.
They see I knew it kind of affected you too because you came off that sophomore year. Y'all had a great year. You were playing outstanding. I thought.
Thank you,
I
sir.
was like,
Thank you.
man, was that 41 Spence? Yeah.
No, that was 15. That was 15. I switched to 15 in high school, yeah.
41.
Old Dirk.
41 was built different, but no.
I told Emily this story yesterday. I feel like the people need to know when
Yeah.
you tried to dye your hair like Dirk.
Oh, first grade.
Yeah, Spencer comes to school with red hair.
Red hair.
Bro, I don't
didn't
know.
know
And
you
I was
did
like,
that
what are
until
you
yesterday.
doing?
I was like, bro, what?
He goes, I tried to dye my hair like like blonde. Like
Bro, I have a really funny.
But you used a box dye, didn't you? And you tried to use.
For sure.
And it
my
was a
mom
blonde
did it.
one.
My mom did it in
yeah,
the kitchen.
Okay.
I was laying down on the counter with my head in the sink.
You're like, this is gonna be so cool. I'm gonna look just like Dirk.
I showed up with red hair.
Riley texted me this morning and said she bought a box of blonde hair dye, and she was like, "Should I use this? I bought it a year ago." And I said, "Do not use blonde in a box. You have to use straight bleach if you want to dye your hair."
All right. So Emily, give us what's hot right now in the music world. What are you listening to?
What's hot right now in the music world?
Besides John Mayer, we know everyone loves John Mayer.
Oh yeah, his new album is fantastic.
She gets it.
It's pretty common.
I love John Mayer's new album.
If you don't like John Mayer's album,
don't even listen to this podcast. Yeah. Get out.
I'm gonna move this down.
What am I listening to?
Thank you. Yeah, what are you? I mean, your phone's up there.
I know you said Band Camino earlier.
I love the Band Camino.
They're phenomenal.
They're very good.
Yeah.
The songs that I listen to, like, it changes from week to week because what I do is I get on New Music Friday and I pick like 5 or 6 songs that I really, really like, and then I listen to those 5 or 6 songs throughout the week, and then it comes to the next New Music Friday. Yeah, I don't know, my
Spotify. Literally, I think it's got to be at least 3 times better than Apple Music. No, so no good movies recently. I guess we cut that part off.
I really don't think I've watched a movie other than Space Jam anytime.
Space Jam, scale of 1 to 10. How would you say?
How was it?
I mean, I said I haven't seen
Jeremy
the first
says
one.
5.
MJ's?
Yeah.
I haven't seen.
No comparison.
I haven't seen that one.
I thought they leaned too much on like the
kiddish part.
Yeah, that and the CGI stuff. All the.
It's happening to like the younger generation.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. We're old.
So video games.
Yeah, video games.
It was meant for like 8-year-olds.
It made sense, but MJ's the GOAT.
I bet 8-year-olds ate it up though.
GOAT, Space
and I think
Jam,
that's
GOAT
all they care about.
Player. 1-2-year-olds that want to be something.
Yeah.
What about them?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I liked
the story or
it did have a good
whatever.
message.
The
Pretty
message
good
behind it. There you go. Yeah, it's just.
Well, don't spoil it. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Apparently,
it's like it's
not like a spoiler alert. It's just
it's LeBron's son,
and he wants to make a video game.
Was it his actual son?
No. LeBron was like being LeBron. He wants his son to play basketball, and his son is just like, no, he wants to make a video. Like he wants to be a video game creator, and finally LeBron was just like, honestly, I can't.
That's
back
gonna get
from
the
doing
8-year-olds
what
going
you
for
want
sure.
to do.
He's like, you do you, son.
Yeah.
That made me think, for whatever reason, my mind works a little bit funny, and I'm probably a little bit ADD.
Scares me sometimes.
Yeah, a little worrisome. But you said, you do you, even if it's unless it's illegal.
As long as it's not illegal.
And my take, I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. My take on advice, I don't give advice. I don't because people are going to do whatever they want to do. Like they already know. So if they're reaching out to you for advice, like they know what they want to do, and I will, if I can, I'll pull from my past experiences and be like, if I've been in this situation before, I'll let them know. Like, this is what I learned, and stuff. But I don't give advice because learning only happens, at least in my experience, it only happens whenever you go through something like on a heart level.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only way you're gonna find that out is if you go through it.
Experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So experience. Like I just tell them. I give my experience, be like, this is what I've learned. You do you. And for whatever reason.
You literally did that to me like a week ago.
Yeah, did it work?
Why I was asking you for advice, I have no idea.
Crazy. I don't know why you would ever do that. Did it work though? What'd you ask me? I don't remember.
It's private.
It's
private.
I respect that. I respect it. But anyway, did it work?
But you did. Sure.
Okay. I think I know.
Sure.
I think I know.
Yeah. I think if you can pull past experience, of course, it's like having gone through it yourself makes it, more relatable, I guess. And like I do that with my brother. I'll put him on blast. Like
that dude's a clown, bro. He's like the tomfoolery between your dad, you, and then Logan. Y'all are the same human, except Logan is the least filtered.
Logan is the least filtered, which is terrifying.
I love it. I love it. Shout out Logan.
I'm not very filtered, and he's
Shout out
worse
Logan.
than me.
Yeah.
He's trying to figure out where he wants to go to college and do all that stuff, and
Yeah.
It's like
going into sophomore year, right?
He's going into sophomore year. And it's, you try and if I were him, I'd do the same thing. If I try and talk to him and bring up the conversation, it normally doesn't go well because then
y'all can't talk serious.
He gets kind of like an attitude, and then I get, pissed off, and then it's not good.
Yeah.
But I try and get it where I let him bring it up, but it's just part of me wants to be like, hey man, like, here's what happened with me. Yeah. Here's like what I saw. Here's what I did, and I know that I can't just like go up and say that. I've got to let him ask about it.
That's fair. So
Logan, ask me how you're doing.
Logan, reach out.
Reach out, man. Reach out.
Reach out. The toughest people to change around. I might have mentioned this on the first episode we did. Toughest people to like change around are the ones that have known you the longest. Like it's harder for me to change around you than it is like someone at work. Well,
that I like. Yeah, like Jeremy said, he's going kind of through a similar thing.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to have those conversations.
Yeah,
like for me and you, and like I'll give my dad as an example too, because when I was in Georgia, I had more meaningful, deeper, whatever talks with you. Yeah. Like when we would talk on the phone, and the same thing with my dad. Like we talked about actual like serious stuff, and like we don't do that because I see him. I see him every day now, and it's like. It's just
it just weird. Doesn't happen.
If you see someone all the time, like it doesn't come up because then you have to be. You're already going to be talking about, whatever is going on. How's your day or whatever random text you get from that person if you talk a lot. And it's
I feel
hard.
like you have you talk about if you see the person like every day or like 5 times a week, you probably
you have to like intentionally bring it up.
Well, or you just talk about it naturally, but like not as in depth. You just say like you see him on a Monday, you talk about it a little on Monday. Then you see him on like a Wednesday, you talk about it a little on Wednesday. Yeah. But if you haven't seen your dad whenever you're in Georgia for like, 3 months?
Couple months, yeah.
Yeah. You're going to stay on the phone for like an hour and a half and just have the entire conversation that you would have with said friend across the span of a few days in one conversation.
Yeah. That's a good point. And that's something also I think we'll have some people on here at some point, talking more about positioning ourselves as young adults financially. Like there's so many ways to make money and like make sure you're straight. Now. Yeah, dude. Like the internet is like
I saw a thing on Instagram the other day. It was like a reel and it said you can go, there was some website like you write for people and it was like $45 for an hour.
Yeah.
And then they were like, and then you can go and get someone to write a paper for you in like $12. For $12, you get them to write a paper. And then you can go get this for $45 an hour and send in like 3 or 4 of these papers. And you'll make 90, 130, 180, like $180 in like 4 hours. You send in 4 papers.
Is garbage.
All right, Emily, give us one band, artist, whatever to listen to, check out this week.
One band artist.
Give us something.
Do y'all ever listen to Boy in Space?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, listen, look him up.
Who is it? A guy? One guy?
It's one
17?
Guy. No, it's one guy.
Okay. Pretty good. Boy in Space.
Yep.
What type? What type of music?
He's Swedish.
Swedish.
Oh, okay.
So is it like what's that? Swedish House Mafia or something? Is it like techno?
No.
I don't think that's gonna be how it is.
Is
it pop, rock?
It's like pop alternative, kind of.
My voice is a little shot from
pop alternative.
Activities.
Okay, I like pop alternative.
Okay.
Yeah.
A Boy in Space. There you have it. Parker McCollum's new album is really good.
I haven't listened to the full thing. Jacko gave a thumbs up. That's what really matters.
Really good live, great concert.
Yeah.
Also, if you like Texas country, go check out Paul Coffin.
Shout out Paul.
Yeah, Paul, across the street. He's my neighbor. Great live show and really good music. Paul Coffin.
Is he gonna be on? We got to get him on too.
We need to get Paul on. Yeah,
we need to get Paul on. Shout out Paul.
Send Paul this one, but
yeah. This song is incredible.
What song?
Poison by 44 Phantom.
Yeah, I heard you play
that song is incredible. That song is really good. That's for sure gonna be my song. Jacko, you got a song?
Oh well, so I'm on a big Whitney kick right now.
I noticed.
Houston?
Yeah, I've noticed. Whitney Houston, the only Whitney.
Okay.
What? How'd you notice?
The first 2 songs of the R&B playlist.
Oh,
were Whitney.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not obviously she has phenomenal voice,
I'm on
extremely
Whitney
talented R.I.P.
listening to
but-
music, and then Kevin Costner. I've been watching some Kevin Costner movies. Really, really good stuff. Like he's big time. Yeah, Saving All My Love for You, Run to You.
Pretty fire.
If you don't know Whitney,
Tap in.
You need to go listen
learn
to it.
yourself. Yeah,
The first 2 songs, check out our R&B playlist. Aston put it together. That pretty good.
I did.
The song I've been listening to on repeat for the past 3 weeks is Dancing in the Kitchen by Lainey.
That's a great song.
It's a fantastic
Great
song.
artist. Great artist. But yeah, no, check. How do you say their name? Lonnie?
I
Laney?
say Lainey.
I've heard it different types of ways. I don't know, so I don't say it. Very good.
If I'm mispronouncing it, it wouldn't be the first
Cowboy
time I've
in LA
mispronounced anything.
is a vibe.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very good. Emily, thank you. Hey, like this. Thank you again. Like, I think a lot of people. Again, I think a lot of people that we encounter daily go through a lot of the things that we've talked about. And
I do too.
Yeah.
Well, and like, I mean, you asked me how many people I think I meet on a daily
Yeah.
basis who go through something to
Yeah, dealing
the
with
extent
it.
of like what I did. And I think that, I mean, honestly, looking from somebody like, you could look at somebody and they could be super skinny, but that could just be their natural body composition, and
Yeah.
like they could be fine.
Yeah,
But
don't
then you
comment on it
No,
either.
I don't
Like,
think.
it
I don't
doesn't-
think anybody needs to like comment on anybody's weight. I don't
Yeah.
think like that is just something I never thought needed to happen. Like that's
Yeah.
somebody else's opinion, and it's
Yeah.
rude, and it doesn't need to come. Like it doesn't need to be said. But I also just, from my perspective, I have so many issues with our society and everything like today, just because people make jokes about going, this is like a stupid instance, but like say it's a Saturday afternoon and you're going to go to a workout class, and you're going to the workout class in the morning because you want to go burn like 900 calories because you're going to go and work off the mimosas that you're going to drink after at brunch ahead of time.
we got some work to
I
do
understand where why people say that, but I also like,
still. Yeah.
I don't like when people say that because you don't know who else is going to be around. Because me personally, it doesn't necessarily affect me anymore, but say somebody else is around you that like is dealing with like some body dysmorphia, an eating disorder, something like that. Like the things you say like that can mess up somebody's brain. And
Yes. Yeah.
like, I mean, like I said, now it doesn't really bother me anymore. But I know, like, I have other friends that it probably
You don't know how it's
would.
going to affect people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I'm probably the world's worst about that. I say stuff without
You've made
thinking.
some insane jokes.
all
You've
the
made
time.
some
and
insane
I just,
jokes.
yeah, you just don't think about how someone might take
Take
it. You
it.
just think about, oh, that's a harmless
Yeah.
joke. But,
Off for the jokes.
Yeah, someone might
But I also, I mean,
someone
like,
might take it the wrong way.
I guess, in kind of closing, what if you're looking at somebody who, I mean, not to put an age demographic on it, but say they're younger than us, and if you were to look back at Emily when you were 15, what would you tell her right now? Knowing everything that you know now, looking back at 15-year-old you, what would you say?
probably you were made perfectly the way you were made. You don't need to change for anybody else, because that was one thing that like initially sparked the eating disorders. I wanted to change for somebody else, and looking back, I didn't need to. If I was meant to be with said person, or if I was meant to be with friends with some friend group and they don't accept me for what I looked like back then I shouldn't be friends with that person. That says more about them than it says about me.
Yeah. Allow. That's exactly like,
Go with the flow.
that's really like everything kind of that I'm been trying to touch on. Is just like you said, like if they're meant to be in your life, if you're meant for this job, if you're meant to do this, it's gonna happen
Some
anyway.
way,
It's gonna happen anyway.
yeah.
I just finished
I was
reading The
gonna say.
Alchemist. I would advise everybody to read that. Like, obviously it's been on, that's anyone who kind of actively reads,
Books.
touches on The Alchemist at some point. So that's been on my radar for a while, but I finished it within like a week of reading, and like it's very, it gives you a lot of perspective. I think I like a lot of things written in there resonated with me, and in terms of just allowing things to happen and tuning into you. Like if you tune into yourself and like tap into who you really are and stuff, and just are genuinely yourself, like your life is going to go exactly how it's supposed to. Exactly. And like again, there's a faith aspect to it for me, for both of you guys, but it's all part of a process, I think. So don't be impatient with yourself, because like we're pretty young. We're pretty young, and even if
we got lots to figure out.
Even if you're older, like it doesn't matter. Like time, our time here on Earth is this big a blip.
In the grand scheme of things.
It's a blip on the radar, yeah. So, and we feel like obviously for us, it really is forever. But in terms of longevity and obviously that's a whole nother conversation. But our forever here is that.
Yeah.
So as soon as we were able to understand that and act accordingly, we stopped caring about a lot of things that really don't matter.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in.
Yeah.
Emily, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, Spencer.
No, thank you for real. Like
seriously.
Again, I think this is a good conversation. It might be
Be really long. I don't know how long this podcast is going to be, but we've been talking for like a good
3 hours.
3-4 hours.
It's going to be a long one, but I think you've touched on a lot of really good stuff. And it really, again, if anything we say at any point that we put out affects one person, it's a win. It's a win. So thanks for coming on.
Doing it.
It's obviously you're one of my best friends for sure.
If you have any questions,
Emily, where
let me know.
Where they at?
Feel free to reach out.
Yeah.
We'll
throw your
people,
handles in the description
we'll
there. Yeah.
Our 6 followers will be really all over
like
your
what,
stuff.
600 maybe? I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no
probably
idea.
not. That's a little ambitious. We won't throw out the number to
We're not
expose
25,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Hey, throw us some sauce on your Instagram and let us know.
I reposted Jeremy on it.
You did?
Jeremy.
All right. Well, we're signing off. That's good.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
We've held you long enough.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
See you.